Peace, love, and piece of cake. Okay, so today I have decided that we are going to do a GRWM, which is get routine with me. So I know there's a lot of people that is looking forward to this new year that is fastly upon us. And what better way to get ready for the new year than to revisit the year before? Of course, highlight some of the things that we've done great, what worked for us, look over and analyze some of the pitfalls, what didn't work great for us so that we'll know what to avoid in the year ahead. And then, like, let's properly plan. So, for me, something that I can honestly say that I'm very, very fortunate and grateful for about the past year is I continue to move forward in my business. I have been doing the piece of cake conversations a little bit more frequently, which is major because it got to a point where I just felt like it was going to be just that thing that I always talked about, and that I ended up having these really dope conversations with people, but then I wasn't being consistent enough to actually execute and do it on a consistent basis. And so I set out within myself and I began to plan and have some conversations with myself as to what is a feasible way to do this. And so I realized that if I try to do it every day, that was going to be way too much pressure. There are some people who are saying if you're going to be any type of podcaster or any source of information when it comes to the YouTube space, then you need to be posting videos every day, right? They're telling you need to be producing content every day. And for some people, that is quite overwhelming of an idea, even though I realized, like, if there was cameras following me around, then you probably would be able to get like a lot of gems, because I am one of those people who's constantly speaking in ways where we're having like really dope conversations that just they're definitely transformative. But when it comes down to me getting my phone out, setting up the camera, actually taking the time to intentionally record, I just get somebody else to do it. And so I've had to challenge myself, and I'm very, very grateful for this year that I have I've risen to that challenge. I set forth a date and I told myself, okay, come August, we are doing Piece of Cake conversations every first and third Thursdays, 8:30 p.m. Facebook Live. We're going to do it. We're going to have set topics. We're going to discuss what we discuss with or without anybody looking, and we're going to make sure that we're well prepared. So I didn't just hop on the live. I was actually taking the time to prepare, and that made me very proud, and that built my confidence up. So now I feel more confident about, continuing in this space. I really firmly believe that God has gifted me with the ability to speak and connect with people, and I want to utilize that gift. And so another thing that I've been very fortunate to do, which is right in alignment with that gift, was to take more facilitation and workshop and speaking engagements this year. So I was fortunate enough to speak at the Small Business Expo this year, this summer. I've done a couple of speaking engagements with Dillon County First Steps, facilitation and things of that nature. Worked alongside with PD. Lord, I just lost their name. PD Coalition here in Florence for sexual assault awareness, and we had a poster contest, which was something that I started years ago, but I got back into it this year. And so, like I said, just taking the time to review and find those moments that you were winning, because that's what's going to fuel you and give you the motivation as well as the encouragement to keep moving forward, right? And then sometimes motivation is not going to be enough. I have a friend, Monty, he's an artist, Sincere, and he used to say that to me all the time. Like, he was like, dedication over motivation, because quite frankly, there are going to be days that you just wake up and you're not going to feel motivated. And you can listen to the motivational videos and they'll have you hyped in that moment, but right time you get ready to do the thing that you're supposed to be doing, then boom, it just declines. And so you're going to have to make a choice to remain dedicated even when the motivation isn't there. And so that's what I've been faced with, is remaining dedicated even in the moments when the motivation wasn't there. So here I am making yet another video so that I can share something that I feel like is valuable, and I trust that who this is meant for, it will get to that person. And so I'm just really, really excited about continuing in this space because I know that the impact is there. It's already there. So I look forward to you all commenting and saying where you're from, where you're listening from, how you're going to use this information and things of that nature. So GRWM, get routine with me. So a couple of years ago, I was a newborn. No, I wasn't a newborn. I was a new mom. I was a new mom, a mama of a newborn. Had a home birth, beautiful delivery. Shout out to Lori with Moonlight Birthing. She was excellent midwife. And Leandra, like I just like Leandra. I had like a really great birthing experience. So after having my baby, I was definitely motivated, and I definitely had dedication to routine in my life at that point in time. I knew that the changes that would occur from having a baby meant that I was going to have much less time for myself. And if I needed to, if I was really truly going to get to the space that I wanted to be physically as well as mentally, emotionally, it was going to mean me being much more intentional about my time. So like people kept saying, you have to sleep when the baby sleeps. Yeah, my baby was like hardly ever sleeping, and she would not take naps. But I did learn how to just work around that, and I would just get her quiet. Sometimes she wouldn't even be quiet. She wouldn't want to, like, she couldn't move like really and truly, but she just would not be still. She was just constantly moving, like, moving around. She wasn't walking yet, but she was a little baby, and she'd just be moving, crying, being fussy. And like I had to learn and adapt skills that would allow for me to calm her, soothe her, also calm myself, because you can get quite frustrated as a new mom or as a mom, period, when you're constantly hearing the sound of a crying baby. It messes with you. It makes you feel like, oh my God, why can't I soothe this child? The baby crying, it like transfers that frustration to you. It makes you want to cry. You want to cry because the baby's crying. And so what I would do is I also was wanting to exercise. So I would just get up and start pacing, walking around the house with her. That was helping me to get my steps in. I developed this idea that I wanted to have at least 5,000 steps per day. And those were the times that I was able to do it. But in addition to that, I also joined the Go Sis movement fitness program, and I was able to start doing at home workouts during that time. And it was also COVID, so I was able to start doing at home workouts. And there was also this element of accountability and sisterhood there that really helped to boost me in my fitness and wellness journey. And so um, I was going to work. When I returned back to work in April, I had to be to work at 8 a.m. So that meant that I had to get her sleep, get myself sleep, get up at a certain time, work out before I went to work, go to work, deliver my deliverables at work, and then I got off of work every day at about 5:30, come home, and then I had a very specific schedule even at being home. And so now, as I reflect back over my life, I've kind of gotten off track with that, and I'm looking forward to get back on track. So like I said, always review and go back and look over your life and remember the times that you were winning. Review those strategies. What was it that you were doing then that you can begin to implement now that's going to help you get back to that space of winning? So that's what I did. So back then, I'm going to let you see. Back then, I would wake up at approximately about 5 a.m. every day. And so my sign says Happy New Day because I really truly believe like every day is a new day. It's a new gift. But I would wake up every day at about 5 a.m. I would perform wudu, which is just a ritual cleansing for prayer that Muslims do. I would break my fast, usually with like at least 16 ounces of water. Like a small bottle of water was like the minimum. And then eat sahur. Usually my breakfast was always the same. It was like always oatmeal. There might be a different flavoring of oatmeal, but I was always doing oatmeal. Taking the time to read my Quran, pray some extra prayers, doing my actual obligatory prayer. Then I would work out. Then I would, shower or bathe, depending on which mood I was in. And then after that, I would proceed to get ready for work. Now, my schedule now looks a little bit different because, like I said, I was building upon the habit that I had then. But now it's going to be a little bit different. I am homeschooling my daughter, and that's been a journey and a challenge, because you also start to realize like it's a lot in terms of being intentional with your time, and also being deliberate with the lessons and the way that you're teaching and everything like that, because you can't just lean on anybody else like you're homeschooling. There are some homeschool programs out here that's available, and eventually I will, but being that she's so young, I just kind of like winged it this first. Really, this was my first full year of like being more intentional about homeschooling with her. But this is my schedule so far. I'm still in the process of writing things out, and I am like working on this. I've written it in a Sharpie with a Sharpie on a dry erase board, but little hack, you can easily erase anything off of a dry erase board if it's written in permanent marker with a magic eraser or even hand sanitizer. Weirdly enough, used to work to erase things off of your board. So let's do this. Let's get a routine going, and let's find ways that we can maximize our time. Now, I don't know if I shared this. I did record a video a few minutes ago, and then I realized, I was like, instead of me recording this video and then having to wait to share it, I could have used my StreamYard account, and it would have went directly to YouTube. All right, so boom, efficiency. So needless to say, I'm re-recording the video, but I believe in the first video, well, I don't believe, I know, in the first video I did share this. So I was attending the Grow Your Business Summit with Neo, David Shands, and Wall Street Trapper. And Neo said something on the first night, and that's what really spawned me to like, okay, you gotta go back, you gotta do this, because you were already working on it. A couple weeks ago, I've been working on my scheduling and things of that nature, but this was just added confirmation, and it just boosts me. So stay around and stay connected to the right people. Thank you. Stay connected to the right people, because they're going to give you confirmation that you need to keep moving in the right direction, and they're not going to slow you down. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to be a hindrance for you. You got some people that end up being like extra weight in the car, and so like you're not getting the same amount of, you know, mileage that you would get. You might be traveling in the right direction, but you know, them being with you in their backseat driving and trying to tell you where you should go, you should have went that way, or this is this. Like sometimes you gotta travel alone. Sometimes you gotta travel alone. And if you are traveling alone, don't be afraid to be still connected with people, or traveling in a group, a pack of people who you know they've already been this way, so they know where to, you know, tell you how to get to where they're going. So I'm on this Grow Your Business Summit, and Neo says we got to start time hacking, like hacking our time in the sense of habit stacking. If you do two things at the same time and they all fit, hey, Naima, can you calm down? And they fit together. Like for instance, in the mornings when you're working out, you could listen to an audiobook, and now you're getting the information while also exercising. That's two things at one time. It's like you doubled your time. You know what I'm saying? And for those of you who may be content creators, he took it a step further. He's like, okay, if you're going to exercise and you're listening to an audiobook and you also record yourself exercising, time hack, it's like you have content that you can share. You chop it up the way you need to, put it out there, boom. Now you have content that you can share, put out there into the world. You've also exercised. You've also listened to this book at the same time. Now it's like you've done three different things at one time, and you're saving time. It's like you're getting some time back because you're effectively using your time. So I just wanted to share that. As we know, time is our greatest currency. It is the thing, like so many people are working right now so that they can have freedom within their time. Excuse me. So that they can have freedom within their time. And so I say all that to say we can do this. So I would like for you all to join me in getting routine with me as we get into this next year. I think this next year is definitely going to be our best year. I see people joking and saying like nobody claimed 2023 as their year. That's what messes up all the other years. Everybody keeps claiming these years as their years, and it goes downhill from there. Look, law of attraction. What's meant for you will not miss you. This is your year, and it will be your year if you make it your year. And so you have to make it your year by being intentional with your time, because the year is made up of a bunch of months, weeks, days, hours, minutes, moments. So we have to be intentional with our time. So get routine with me. Comment below how you plan on spending your time this year. All right. Peace, love, and piece of cake.